Well, good morning. It's not the best of days here, but that doesn't stop it being a good morning, because the day is still as it is. The only thing that changes it is what I think of up here. I'm struggling this week. I'm struggling with a fibro flare. I'm struggling with my functional neurological disorder and with my pain from my arthritis as well. But I'm also, what goes alongside with that is depression and anxiety. And now I'm back home on my own without Andy. I can't run away. I'm staying here. I've actually been here solid for 3 days, the third day on my own. And I don't feel ready to go out yet. I don't want to go out. In fact, today I caught myself sitting on the settee and not even wanting to open the doors, although it's a beautiful sunny day out there. So I absolutely forced myself to just at least go and sit in the sun out on the decking. And whilst I sat there, I thought, well, actually, I might change this decking around and I might get the paddling pool out and, but I need to jet wash everything. And it was all like, it was just all getting too much. So I found a different way around it, because I can't operate the jet washer at the moment. But I can stand and just sit and wash a few bits and get the hose pipe on it. But I'm just going to break it down and do it into bits. And this is the problem. I mean, I've been on and off, mostly on antidepressants since 1995. I'm on a very low dose now. I'm trying to get myself off. I'm on duloxetine, which I take for fibromyalgia pain, for depression and for my bladder as well. But I'm trying to get off of that, because since I've got sober, things are much better in my life. Even though it's been traumatic, it's been awful, mentally up here. Things are much better, but I can feel myself possibly teetering on the edge of spiralling down into a slump of not doing anything. I have got plans to go out tomorrow and to go and see people tomorrow, so that's good, because I've got something scheduled. And it's really important to schedule things, but it can be really overwhelming. And one of the things that we really need to do with chronic illness, even an acute flare, we do have to accept where we're at, but we do have to pace as well, and we do have to try and keep going. But with depression and fatigue, it's quite hard to do that, because it robs you of your motivation. But motivation is the thing, and doing little things each day, activity scheduling, will get us on the right track. So I thought I was going to read some extracts from my book, which would be fun, because these are my computer glasses. I have been to Specsavers. I'm waiting for my reading glasses and other glasses. So the A to Z of alcohol and sobriety, everything you need to know. I just thought it'd be good so you can see that this isn't just about alcohol, but it's got lots of mental health stuff in it. I put little things on what to read, but I might just actually cheat and go to I'm sure I've got activity scheduling somewhere. I don't know though. There's so many headings in this book. There's just over 400. Have I got active? Active. Okay, no, what I have got is I've got active. So I'm going to read that. We may need to rest during the first few days of quitting. So this is talking about alcohol, but this is anything, like if we're facing any chronic illness or any change, we may need to rest for a few days. But once the physical withdrawals have gone, it's important to stay active. Being active is good for our physical and mental health, and it's also a great distraction from temptation and our addiction. If you're struggling, you might find it helpful to write an activity schedule each day to help you get motivated. Write the times that you're going to eat, dress, do activities such as go out, read, do housework and relax. And you can literally just schedule things down in there, like take Fluffy for a walk. If that's a dog or a cat, might be a rabbit, who knows, even your goldfish. But you can just list things down of things to do. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm not going to get to that stage. I'm hoping that I can have help with myself with my maintenance list, which I'm just going to get off my fridge for you. I am still here. So this is my daily maintenance plan. Not very great at always doing this either. But so this is kind of my activity scheduling of what I need to do each day to keep myself fit and healthy. So get out of bed by 9. I find if I sleep in after 9, I go into a fibro flare. Well, it's not good for my fibro. Have a shower, a bath, pace, physio, do my physio exercises. I'm really bad at doing that. I am boom or bust. Eat healthy, sitting down, chewing mindfully. Drink plenty of water, avoid alcohol. Take pain relief when needed. get outside. That's what I made myself do this morning. Ask for help. I'm not very good at that. Some people have offered help and I'm like, I don't know, I'm okay. But I am okay and I will get through. But I do need to start asking for help rather than expecting people to know what I want and then getting stroppy with them because I can't mind read. Tackle something you've been putting off every day. So every day I try and do one thing that I've been putting off. Perhaps it needs to be my physiotherapy exercises today. Have an afternoon nap. I have been good at that. And bed by 9, lights out and everything electrical off by 10. I have been getting better at that the last few nights. Acceptance, stay curious and stay in the now. So that's kind of my maintenance plan. And my flare-up plans when I have a flare like now is to do all of that. And yeah, just keep doing it all, but not beat myself up if I don't do it. And to take extra time out, pace a bit more. Sit around a bit more, make contact with friends and family, and just be kind to myself even more, really. Anyway, the headings that I was going to read in this book is motivation. So we all need motivation to get started on anything and to keep going, and that can be as simply as getting out of bed some mornings. I got sober 2 months before my grandson was born, as I didn't want to be a smelly drunk grandmother. That propelled me, but I realised early on that I actually had to do it for me because I deserved to be a grandmother and I deserved to have a life. Others can motivate us and cheer us along, but we have to want to do it. What is your motivation? What motivated you to pick up and read this book? What can you do to keep the motivation going? So that can be with regards to alcohol, but it can be with regards to anything. It's about how do we motivate ourselves. One little trick that I use when I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty, or I can't bother to get up and get a drink, is I say to myself, well, you would have done it for Andy, or you do it for Jack, or you do it for Arthur. So I then kind of kick myself up the butt of like, well, if you do it for other people, you need to start doing it for yourself. So that's just one little trick that I use, is to try and treat myself in the same way I treat other people, which is far nicer than I treat myself a lot of the time. Right, B, bite-sized pieces. It helps so much if you can break tasks down, even a sobriety plan. When we are seeing everything that needs to be done, it can be completely overwhelming. A bit like me with my decking this morning, I'm like, there's so much. I've just done the corner, I've done a bit of it now, and I've gone to do some more in a minute. I'm taking a break in here. So it can be really overwhelming if you have something like never drink again. AA is saying it's one day at a time for a very good reason. We only have this moment, but we are great at causing ourselves stress by thinking ahead, looking back and missing the now. The important thing is not to set ourselves up to fail or give ourselves so much to do that we avoid the task completely and then beat ourselves up whilst running around on yet another hamster wheel. If tidying and cleaning the house seems too much, just start with a room. If a room is too much, start with a cupboard. If a cupboard is too much, start with a drawer. If a drawer is too much, start with a corner. And I know that when we're depressed and anxious, sometimes, you know, that huge task can just be opening an envelope, just opening the mail. It can be so overwhelming. But the more that envelope sits there unopened, the worse it gets. The more we go round and round in that wheel of like, what's it about? Oh, I need to do it and blah, blah. So it's taking the bull by the horns sometimes. And, you know, if you've got a pile of post, fine. Just do that one thing you've been putting off today. Just open one letter and see where that takes you. So it really is about really breaking things down. Another really important thing to do is to pace in any sort of recovery. Something us drinkers aren't great at doing. I'm not a pacer. I'm all or nothing, boom or bust. Not just with drinking, but with everything in my life. I used to be at 100 mile an hour horizontal. I've been practicing pacing over the last 10 years and I'm just about getting there. When I start to speed up, stress comes and so do accidents. The only thing I don't pace is my alcohol. Not another drop, no matter what. As I take this, I commit to pace myself today. If I start to speed up, I will take a deep breath and get back in King 13's cruising line. See cars. Hope to see you there. No overtaking. So, yeah, I do run away a lot as well. And I am very boom or bust. I am still working on it. We're all a work in process. I'm always going to be perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. But, you know, I've just ridden for 29 days round the coast of Ireland and Wales in the pouring rain. If you haven't watched any of my videos, go and have a look. There's some great thinking. It's about the grief process, it's about dealing with anxiety, it's about the determination. There's lots and lots of things in there, as well as the beautiful, beautiful scenery of Ireland, even though it was very, very wet. And the same in Spain. I then went to Spain and again was vlogging and lots of thinking and going through. And now I'm here and I've been booming and now I'm kind of busting, so I'm really having to keep myself moving forwards. So I'll just finish with this of cars. I love King 13's analogy of cars in our Sobertown podcast, the power in and of sobriety. Humans are like cars. The motor is the brain, the chassis is the frame, the body is the body type, as we are all different shapes and sizes, and we are the driver. Sometimes we cannot get going and have malfunctions, and sometimes we're in override and on turbo speed, and then we crash and burn. Then we become a write-off in our minds. Repairs need to be done, but everything can be rebuilt, including us. We need to drive at a cruising speed to achieve the balance in our life and get ultimate pleasure. It's okay sometimes to drive fast and get those bursts of dopamine, and it's also okay to go slow. But cruising is the safest speed because you don't crash and burn. This has given me a whole new outlook on the concept of pacing, and I love it. So that's my thing for today, is I'm not going to crash and burn. I'm going to cruise. I'm going to get stuff done though. I'm not going to, I'm going to keep kicking myself up the butt, do little and often. If you haven't got a maintenance plan, then it's really good to get a maintenance plan. Perhaps do one of these for yourself today, or do some activity scheduling to try and motivate yourself. That is the thing with depression and, as I say, chronic illness. It's that little tricky thing. It just demotivates us. But motivation or doing things, even if we're not motivated to do it, is the really important things. But just cruising, little and often in whatever you do today. And I hope it's a good one. Remember, if it's not, it's of our making. The now, today, is what we make of it. As Buddhists say, there are no problems out there. It's all of our making in our mind. So have a clear, good mind today. And if you don't, stay curious. Accept it. Don't beat yourself up, because you are worth having a good day today, and I hope you do. Bye bye for now.